Technological Ashes, Chapter 7 1 plus 2 equals 3? There we were on the train, speeding down the rails. Andy was there smoking a cigar. Seb was with Sparky on the ground, just petting him and staring aimlessly into the floor. And I was just there trying to figure out how it would all work. Oh, by the way, guys, I managed to pry this working radio from the guy I killed the train for. As the man begged for life, he told me the radio was off at the time of the outage. Don't quite know how or why it works. Andy held the device, which flickered with life in a crackling silence. I fiddled with it a bit and hit the top a few times. The U.S. government has declared a state of emergency. Martial law is now in effect as the infrastructure and power grids have failed. Stay-in-place order is in effect. Seb finally picked his head up from staring aimlessly into the wooden middle floor of the train. This wasn't a mistake. It couldn't be. This just isn't possible to randomly happen, even in the best of fucking circumstances. That left only one name running through my head. It's Nathan's. It just has to be. He's the only insane person who would dare to think of it this way. Andy pulled a cigar out of his mouth for a moment. You could use satellites to suppress the grid and/or enhance/weaponize the solar activity. That's what I would do. And he's a messed up man, more so than all of us combined. Seb then shot up from the ground and onto his feet. I saw the fucking satellites before I killed Willie. It didn't make any sense, but now it does. What the fuck? Why would he do this? I knew why. Because he hated humanity. He always thought it was weak. But he had an idea that was born from hatred. If he could cull the population and remake the survivors in his image, it would be better, or so he thought. Seb giggled like a schoolgirl, and then Andy joined in. But I noticed Seb reaching for his gun. Don't, kid. Please, don't. He couldn't stop laughing. Even Andy noticed and started to plead with Seb just to put the gun back into his waistband. But it all fucking hurts. I can't think straight. I want peace, but I don't know how to get it. This just feels right. I knew that in this moment we needed to help him and in turn save ourselves. So I took out my own gun and shot Andy, just grazing him. Not enough to kill, but more than enough to hurt. Help him, kid. Do it now. Seb snapped out of his state, and Andy was there on the floor of the train, which I stopped, as he had taught me a lot of trains since his accident. He was laughing hysterically. Thanks, bro. You finally got me to feel something again. Kudos. Seb was there monitoring the wound to make sure it didn't bleed. I hated that I had to manipulate and harm him more than just an emotional way to save Seb's life. I had to. I'm so sorry, I whispered under my breath. He will live. He'll be in pain, but anyway, have you fucking lost your mind? Why did you do that? I looked at Andy, who nodded, and we formed a silent pact. Never tell Seb what he almost did. He was clearly dissociating heavily. I don't know, kid. I don't know. Something in me just broke. And on cue, Andy nodded, and with my body back, he started to force himself to laugh, to confuse and disorient Seb's thought process. He had done it before he had the injury. Andy would have made a good actor. The most painful part was that it worked, and it was just another piece of guilt that would eventually take my life, if there was anything left.